West Side, dog. Did we? I was about to say we knocked out some of the most high profile of the show outside of Final Fantasy 7.
Did you get anything for that?
I had to have that fucking
So I wonder if you get anything for that. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah.
So pretty good progress. We don't have to worry about Cyberpunk tomorrow. We don't have to worry about fucking Borderlands tomorrow. I play 2 characters, so I mean, like, I'm good.
Yeah,
I feel. Yeah. I like thought about it, I was like, wait, if I beat this, and I just like fucking start running through, I was like, pfft.
They said, yeah, they clicked on my head. I was like, oh yeah.
Well, because then it reset, and I was like, okay, I'm done. I took my headset off, and then it reset. I was like, oh shit. And I like start playing it again.
This is and the Iceborne.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the day started out really kind of shitty because we didn't know what the fuck we were doing, and then it's gotten a lot better. So there's definitely a hectic flow to this. You don't have time to really figure shit out. So
there's nowhere big enough that it can make it. Yeah. But there's nowhere big enough that they can hold like this many people and this many
yeah.
Shit, so.
Although a lot of people talk about how it's crowded, which it absolutely is, but it's not as crowded as I thought it'd be.
Yeah.
Like this building's fucking massive.
For sure.
So.
Yeah, this is.
I mean, like, we're going to the other side of E3, and this is like completely on. This is fucking somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's like 2 separate E3s happening. Oh, you guys got a I thought you can't have tripods.
Hey, he's paid extra.
Get that tripod price, dude. The tripod price. Price. I want a Shadowbringers bag.
Dude, this, I mean, Borderlands 3-1 in the bag game. That's just like takes this little bag and like, here. Okay, show it right in this bag.
Yeah.
I get it. That's great. Yeah.
Is it? Oh, down here. I'm trying to figure out where the fuck's all the shit is at. I mean, obviously they're closing it, but I want to know for tomorrow. I think it's down here.
It's a lot cooler in there.
Yeah, it feels way better. Okay, yeah, so it looks like we got Nintendo, Sega. So tomorrow. Yeah, so I just want to look in there real fast. So I know what we're getting into, yeah. Yeah, we got to get Final Fantasy 7. I really want to do Shadowbringers for Chevy, and everybody plays it. And then, you know, this looks cool as hell.
Like, how good does that food have to be? What's up there?
Alright, well, I'm not even going to go in. We know where it's at now. And tomorrow we'll take a peek at that. But today we did the, what is it, West Hall?
Yeah, West Hall.
We did the West, or did we do the South?
No, we did South Hall, sorry.
Yeah, we did the South Hall, which is pretty much the main event, it seems. Had Cyberpunk, all that shit. And then we'll do more of that, because there's still plenty to do there. And then here, because this is like a whole other section.
Oh, dude, they serve booze over in this hall.
Damn, yeah, this is the right hall. Tomorrow, dude, time to get fucking weird at E3.
I didn't do anything. I'm good today.
I'm not doing any. I do nothing, Mel. You are. I think you always hear about, you know, how much there is. I don't know. You always hear like how hectic it is and how much shit there is to it, but like, I still kind of wasn't prepared for that. Like when we first got in there, we went in there, and there's just people everywhere. There's a bunch of shit to look at. We didn't quite understand that there was reservations to be made with games, which really threw us off in the beginning because we were like, how do we play anything? But we eventually figured it out. We finally got to play some shit, which was nice. But yeah, I mean, it went from kind of frustrating because we're like, oh, I want to play that shit, to okay, we got it, and we started getting things done. And yeah, I mean, we knocked out some pretty big titles in our first day. We have 2 more days. Each day is longer than today, so I mean, we got a good chance at kind of, you know, getting most of the things, you know, done. biggest things of note that we'll talk about in a little bit was Cyberpunk. We got to go behind closed doors and see that presentation. Yeah, we saw that. It was like a 25 minute video. They showed off a lot of shit, a lot of stuff. Played Iceborne, which was really cool. We'll talk about that more in a bit too. Played Destroy All Humans. Fuck, what else did we do? Borderlands 3. Played Borderlands 3 as well. And we saw a lot of really cool stuff. So, yeah, it was crazy. We're going to go back to the Airbnb, though, get some food, and then we... What's going on, guys? Seth and Cody here, doing a recap of our first day at E3 now. As you guys saw in the video, we pretty much explored what was the South Hall.
Yep.
We keep there's two halls. There's the West Hall and the South Hall. We get it confused, but I'm pretty sure it's the South Hall, which essentially had like Cyberpunk, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Final Fantasy XIV, Monster Hunter World, Borderlands 3, pretty much all the big hitters. The other hall we're going to visit Wednesday. Whenever this releases, you'll know what date we are going to check that out, where we'll be checking out Nintendo games, Sega games, and other things there. We actually didn't even go in there. We just looked at it from outside, because by the time we got to it, they're pretty much closing down already. So, but the next 2 days will be a lot longer durations of time you can be in those inside E3. So, one more time to check things out. I'm actually really happy that we got to get inside Cyberpunk and fucking see the game played in front of us behind closed doors for about 20 minutes, which was very fucking cool. We also got to play Borderlands 3. That was a long line to wait in, but worth it. And we fucking played Monster Hunter World, Iceborne, which was probably the most like generous and lenient fucking line we had to wait in. In case you guys don't know, because we didn't know, they have a system with a lot of the games there where you have to reserve time. So it's a first come, first serve thing. You go in, you tell them you're gonna want to play the game, they give you a time slot, and you have to be back to play it. If you don't reserve those times, they have like this fucking like 6-person line every like 20 minutes that if those people don't show up for the reservation, you might be able to get to play. Almost every Bethesda game did that. Every id game did that. And at first it was really discouraging. We kind of mentioned it in the video. Like, we started out the day in Bethesda because Cody had some shit he wanted to buy, Bethesda stuff, Fallout merch, and fucking, so we started looking into playing Doom Eternal, Wolfenstein Youngblood, stuff like that, and we could not get into any of the games, which really kind of sucked. I was like, is this what it's like for every fucking game? Luckily, our morale was boosted because we went and checked out the Capcom area, and not only was there a lot of cool games there and a lot of cool fucking merchandise, but Monster Hunter World, you could just walk into the line and fucking line up. We did that, and they had a really cool set. I saw Ark's fucking gaming there, which was really weird. I spotted him right the fuck out as soon as I saw him, his bald fucking head, his big ass beard. So that was kind of cool. We saw fucking, let's go through this real quick. We also saw Dr. Disrespect, who's a treant. The guy's like 9 feet tall, and he just slowly sauntered through the building. He saw fucking Floyd Mayweather. Yeah. I only saw him from behind. He had like gold chains on and shit, and a belt over his shoulder, which was crazy. Yeah. For anybody who used to follow game trailers, the website, I saw Daniel Kaiser, which was fucking kind of crazy because I used to watch him back in the day. I forgot the dude's name, but he's the voice of game trailers. If you guys know what I'm talking about, he used to do all the voiceovers for all the videos. I saw him. That was really kind of crazy. There's some other people we saw. But I can't remember off the top of my head. Yeah. It's kind of weird though. We're seeing a lot of random people.
Kotaku?
Oh yeah, I saw a dude from Kotaku, and I hate that guy. And he's like 4 feet tall in real life, which was kind of funny. So anyway, we saw a lot of random people. We played Monster Hunter World Iceborne. It was kind of interesting because in the line they'd go through and they would ask how many people you're with, if you're by yourself, and what your difficulty is, like how well or how good are you at the game, beginner, intermediate, and like fucking hard, expert. Yeah. We said intermediate because we have not played Iceborne before, of course, and we both had a lot of cobwebs to shake off, for sure. Because we both have not played in a while. But it's cool because while we're waiting in line, they paired us up with another two guys who were also kind of in the same boat as us. We're talking about it, and they're like, yeah, we kind of stopped playing too, but you know, we played it quite a bit, and by the time we're up and ready to go, we're watching all these videos for Iceborne stuff. They walk us to this 4-person setup, PS4 controllers, which was kind of nice.
Yeah.
We all put on a headset, and there's a 5th dude standing next to us, and he's kind of explaining to us what Iceborne is, all the new features and stuff, while we're all sitting there with our headsets on, and we're picking our loadouts and stuff, which was kind of weird. Just doing that out of right in the beginning like that.
Yeah.
But you get right in there, and first off, the new environment is really fucking cool looking.
Really cool,
it's
yeah.
awesome looking.
Yeah.
I forgot the name, and I know somebody watching this will let me know. The monster we fought was what was Burrow?
Bonburrow.
Bogburrow?
Bonburrow.
Bonburrow.
Yeah, pretty sure it's Bonburrow.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's probably what it is. If it's not, let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
But it's essentially this big, tusked, fucking antler faced thing.
Like a moose.
Yeah, and that fight was really neat because you'd expect it to do a lot of tail and back leg maneuvers, but it does a lot of charging, and it'll charge and turn on instantly and charge and keep charging back and forth, and it gets to a point where it'll smash into trees and start shoving the broken tree and shit and rocks like a bulldozer.
Yep.
And so it was a cool fight because it was just constantly charging in different ways. Something I wasn't really expecting from it. We ended up beating it, which is cool, on intermediate. The guy clapped for us. He's like, yay! He's like, all right, thanks. And we're like, all right, we'll get out of here. But it was cool. Really excited for that. I didn't get to fuck around with the new features all too much, but I saw one of the guys we were playing with. He was fucking flying all over the place with his clutch claw.
The clutch claw.
Yeah.
What it's called,
Yeah. Sorry, it's been a long fucking day. You guys understand. But he was flying all over the place with the clutch claw, so he kind of figured it out. We didn't really have a whole lot of time to get adjusted to it. But the new environment's cool. The fight was cool. The weapons looked fucking cool. The armors looked awesome. And sitting down and finally just playing the fucking game kind of reignited why I love Monster Hunter. You kind of expressed the same thing.
Yeah.
It was really fun to play with. Even these random 2 dudes, they were really cool. We were all communicating like we'd played the game together before. It was oh, this is happening, this is happening. It was really cool. I really liked the setup, the area, the game, obviously. And it was really the morale boost we needed after not being able to play any Bethesda or id games.
Seriously.
So then we kind of wandered around some more. Finally, we kind of made the decision. We were looking at Borderlands 3, which had a huge fucking booth. It was giant. Giant screens. There's fucking monitors everywhere with Xbox controllers. Big ass line. I think we were in that line for at the least an hour.
Yeah.
At the least.
It feels like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And you start on the outside, you move back inward, and then you go around this streamer booth, which was kind of awkward because you'd see these people who are streaming Borderlands 3 to their communities. But there's this clear glass that everybody's just watching them like zoo animals. It was really kind of weird. And they're sitting there just streaming, and one chick pulled up a video card. She was advertising, you could tell. And
Radio.
Yeah, Radeon, and we were just kind of fucking waiting in line, just staring at these people talking, but you can't hear them. And I was just this is weird. It's we're at the zoo watching streamers.
Strange,
yeah, but it's kind of interesting. And then eventually you loop around and you loop some more, and finally you go into this room and you hang out in there for about, it was 11 minutes that we were in there, and we had a presentation of what Borderlands 3 is, what to expect, all the new features, some character details, how to play. And it was actually that dude who's always been in all the videos. If you watch Gearbox presentations, he's not Randy Pitchford, obviously, but he's that secondary dude with the goatee. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. He was there, so it was actually kind of interesting to see that guy in real life. And he explained the whole thing. We got delayed slightly, waiting for the other people ahead of us to finish playing, so he started answering questions off script, which was really interesting. One thing that I think is worth noting to you guys is somebody asked, with all the customization, weapon skins, customization to your outfits, you get to change individual pieces, colors, and patterns and shit, which is really fucking cool. The guy asked if that's random loot drops, or is there a weird way to get it? And he's it's all random. You just play and you find that shit. Yeah. Which is huge. That's awesome, because that's just more stuff to find. So it was a really good question first off that the guy asked, because I was that's really useful. I didn't think about that. And he's oh, great question. He answered that and shit. So that's cool. And then yeah, after that, they're like, just it's time. You guys can go fucking play it. Blah blah blah. So we went out there. There's a shitload of monitors and screens. Yeah. They had a lot of people playing at once, and then we were all put into our spots. We're playing. About midway through my gameplay, I realized if I could potentially beat the demo in time, because they gave us 15 minutes to play the game, which I thought was very generous. I figured if I could beat the demo in that 15 minutes, I may be able to play a different character. So you played Amara, I played Mose, and then I beat the demo. I found the boss, kicked his ass, and it like ended my demo. And I was like, oh shit. I took my headset off, and then it reset. The demo reset, and I was like, oh. So I put my headset back on, and I started playing Zane. So I got to play 2 characters, which is pretty cool. You played Amara. What did you think of Amara?
She was awesome. I like her abilities. She's basically the Sirens. She has these like everything has to do with like the arms. So I didn't really I couldn't really find the what was like the Goro looking the arms like
Ganesh looking,
Ganesh,
like
exactly.
Shiva type stuff.
Yeah, but she had the move that I had. There was a giant arm that came out of the ground and held the enemy in the air, so you could just sit there and unload them, and just everything. It's the whole game felt really smooth. I like shooting more in that game.
No. Okay, so
you
first
could shoot
off,
dudes and like shotgun them, and they could fly. And shoot them in the air. Like that's awesome.
We'll get into that in a sec because I 100% agree with you. But so I played Zane a little bit. I was using his decoy, and it's pretty useful. But I played Mose, and I knew I was going to like her. I really like her. Everyone has 3 skill trees, and they feel vastly different.
Switch them and stuff too, and
and you can have 2 abilities at once, stuff like that, which is very cool. Awesome. I selected her railgun tree because I like the idea of having single shot, high damage weapons. Luckily, you have 2 arms that shoot railguns, so you can like take one shot and then take the other one, and you can like boost around shit. And the animation was really cool. The whole feel of it was really good. And I really liked the way she played. So I kind of want to play the Beast Master too, but we didn't have access to that character. Going into it, this is the best Borderlands has ever felt, ever looked. Being able to do small things like vault over shit, climb onto things, slide, like in a lot of FPS nowadays, but Borderlands has been gone for a while. Made it feel really good. The aiming, and I was on an Xbox controller, and I have problems aiming on Xbox controllers. Felt tight as fuck. It felt really good. They nailed it. It felt really good. All the guns were really satisfying that I used. They had great like recoil and damage, and it was like a pleasure to play that game. I loved it.
I had a gun that if you reloaded it, you dropped it like a grenade, and the rockets shot off those and home to the thing.
There was in one of the trailers, you drop the gun and it grows legs and starts running and shooting people. Awesome. And every time you reload, there's a bunch of them just running and shooting. Awesome. Yeah. So I didn't get any of those, but I had some pretty basic weapons. But I had this one-shot shotgun, and like you were saying, which I don't remember from the other Borderlands games, you shoot a dude and they'll fucking like, even if you don't kill them, you'll see their health bar drop like halfway or more than halfway. They'll still fly and hit the ground and shit and have to get back up, which gives you that like kind of crowd control that you need in a big group of people. And it's funny because it feels like Borderlands, which is good, but it also just feels better than any Borderlands the way it played. It was tight as fuck. Played really well. The 2 characters I played I really dug. The character you played is another one I think they all seem really cool, and I've played 2 of them. You played one of them, and I can't wait for Borderlands 3. I think it's fucking fantastic. Not at all a disappointment in any way. It's as good, if not better, than what I wanted. They also talked a little bit too about how they're going to have soft social features for people who don't necessarily like to play with other people. It's like a way to incentivize being, communal with people. Like, I guess there's monsters that will spawn like 20% here or 10% chance to spawn there, and if your friend has found one and killed one, you can like get a contract for it through them or whatever, which is really interesting. Also, weapons your friends have sold to vendors will be available to you through those vendors, which is really interesting. So there's like this whole like community aspect of the game that's not just playing together, although this game is obviously meant to play with
each other, and also the split screen is just as robust as the online,
And
which I think is really
interesting
cool.
enough that if you can turn on, there's different modes to turn on shared loot,
Yep.
and then if you do, and you could send it to a friend.
Mhm.
So if you end up grabbing it and you play with somebody you normally play with, you could send it to them. Like if you just felt like a dick for grabbing it, instead of just letting them inspect it. But
Yeah.
so that's pretty interesting.
There's a lot of really small but really cool ideas, and all of them together, I think, is going to make this game huge. Make it like its own. Like, it's really good. It's a day one buy for me, easy, and I'm going to tell all of you who are even slightly into like the idea of playing this game or getting it, fucking pick it up. It's going to be it's great. It plays awesome.
For sure.
And there's just a lot of really cool ideas. Also, shout out to Gearbox for waiting in line to play this game forever. Once you completed your demo and you were leaving, they gave us these Borderlands bags that people are still waiting on Fallout 76 to get their fucking bags. Got a sweet mask, which I think it's plastic or foam.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I went there to play their game, and they're like, "Oh, cool! Here's some swag." So I'm not gonna complain. It's pretty cool. And Cody got one of these too. Everyone who played it did. And this is like prints, right? Like posters or some shit.
Posters,
Yeah, you get this envelope that I'm showing you guys, and then envelope. Did you say envelope?
No, it's an envelope.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were making fun of me.
No.
Okay. And you get some. These are actually really cool fucking prints. Like normally I'm just like, that's fine, it's cool, whatever. But I'm actually really impressed. And this is kind of a weird thing, but like the paper's not cheap either. They're actually pretty well made.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, it's kind of cool that Gearbox even did this. I mean, I paid a lot for those tickets, but like,
Sure.
I didn't give them the money. I mean, that's pretty cool. I didn't see this one when you fucking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this guy right
He's
here.
cute.
He's a cutie. And this one's really fucking dope. It's kind of like got like a Van Gogh fucking look to it. This one's cool. Damn, there's a lot in here, man.
Yeah, there really is.
That's dope. And that's all of them. So yeah, we got that, which is fucking dope as shit. Oh, also, shout out to Bethesda, guys who won't let you play their games unless you call them a week ahead and schedule fucking your dinner appointment. I walked up to the Doom Eternal fucking booth. I was looking at it and the chick just goes, "Here you go." I took a little bag from her. Like, what the fuck is this? I open it up and it says, "Be Together, Bethesda." And it's a little bracelet. And it came with 2. So I gave Cody one and he spit in my face over it. He's
I
like,
did.
fuck
Yeah,
you.
alright.
I'm not wearing this dumb shit. Also, shout out to Bang because they gave out free bangs, which I'll always appreciate a free bang. But they also gave me a bag that's like double the size of that Borderlands bag.
Yeah.
And they put one bang in it.
Yeah.
And then they just handed it to me. I was like, so essentially I'm advertising for you
Oh yeah.
all day? So that's fair enough. Yeah, so Borderlands 3, we played that. We played Destroy All Humans, the remaster.
Yeah.
That was the first thing we did. That was actually available before E3 opened up out at the THQ Nordic booth, which was like there was like a DJ there fucking doing a bunch of shit. They're like, we're doing this all night, blah, blah, blah. And there's like a big dance floor, but nobody was there. And they had a monster truck game that we didn't get our hands on. I still want to play it. I'm not like, oh, I got to play that, but I want to play as much games as I can.
Yeah.
But we played Destroy All Humans, and I got to say, it translates into 2019 really well. Plays really good, looks really good. The physics are great. The humor's still interesting.
Still
Being
the
able
same
to-
voice actors.
Still the same voice actors. Yeah, I don't know if they took the old clips or redid them or not. But
That's good call.
But if this game didn't exist in the past and it came out now as is, I think it would be a good game regardless. I don't remember the game being that interesting, to be honest. So when I was playing, I was like, this is actually pretty fun. So, if you're curious about it, definitely look into it or pick it up because I was surprised by it. awkward thing that happened though. We waited in line to play it. I walk up, and if you look at the top right corner of your play session, there was a timer. It was 8 minutes long. When I got up there, Cody's game was different looking than mine. Like, it started different. I was like, what the fuck? And mine was like in mid-session. I look up, and it was like a minute and 20 minutes left. So I was playing it, and then it ended. And then someone taps me on the shoulder. I look over, and this guy with a real fucking thick accent is telling me, like, okay, is your demo over? I'm like, yeah, I just started playing. He's like, well, we have a lot of people waiting in the queue. And I was just like, what? And I like started talking to him, and I didn't realize he was a guy who worked for THQ Nordic. But I was trying to explain to him, like, I literally just started playing this fucking game. And he's like trying to give me the fucking shoe. He's like, we got a big queue of people. They all want to play. I was like, I literally just fucking got here. So he let me stay and play the game a little further, which I appreciated because I would have been pissed.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't be telling you guys anything good about that game if he let me play the game for 1 minute. But it's cool. So yeah. As for E3, we'll get to Cyberpunk in a sec. It was really cool. We were only in the one hall. It's really it's hard to know what you're getting into before you get there. There's so much shit going on. There's people who know what they're doing and where they're going, and other people who don't know what the fuck they're doing. We're definitely in the latter category, and we're just trying to figure things out, trying to figure out the reservation shit, which I'm still kind of annoyed by. For just so you guys know, Final Fantasy VII is a ticket-based demo. So the only way you can go play it is if you get tickets that are first come, first serve. So we didn't get in there, but they informed me that Wednesday they will be available, but we can only be there at noon.
Yeah.
But they'll be available at 9 a.m. up until whenever they're out. So there's a good chance we're not going to get those fucking tickets, but there's also a chance if we show up early enough, which we plan on doing, we'll be able to get them. So we are going to try and get in there and play Final Fantasy VII. It's very, it's top of my list of games I need to play at E3. I want to do that for you guys. I can tell you what I think of it, but also I'd like to play it. There's also a Final Fantasy 14 booth that was really big and has a really cool bag I saw everybody walking around with at E3 for Shadowbringers. So that was really fucking cool. I want to go check that out and cover that. And then yeah, I wanted to play some of the hidden Bethesda shit, but fucking it was all packed. Yep. Although Fallout 76, we're watching that Battle Royale mode, it was buggy as fuck.
Oh yeah.
Like, I was like, oh my god, this is still really fucking buggy. It was an interesting thing to watch, though.
I think that was like, wasn't that an alpha 2 sort of thing?
Well, yeah, the game's already out, but that Battle Royale mode probably is in like the early testing phase,
like
yeah.
Blocking it off, but still, yeah, just to look at it and watch it, and that happens.
Yeah, the character was like sliding around doing weird shit and glitched in one spot, which, was, anybody who's been following Fallout 76 knows that's not a good look for it. A lot of really fucking cool toys. Capcom had some awesome fucking shit.
Yeah.
Did not go in the Ubisoft store. Want to go check that out. You actually picked stuff up. Some Bethesda stuff. There's a really neat store front there where while you're waiting in line, there was like a touch screen that you could kind of go through all the stuff they have, and then when you get up to the counter, you can tell them what you wanted, and they'll get it for you, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's also an E3 merch booth that I want to get a couple things from, and yeah, all in all, really cool. Also, the main lobby of the convention center was Crash Team Racing, which we didn't play, but like a lot of Final Fantasy VII Remake stuff, including like a giant replica of Cloud's bike, which is really fucking cool, and people were taking pictures on it. You guys probably saw it in the video. And some really cool Final Fantasy VII like figurines and stuff. Really cool shit. It's so cool to see Final Fantasy getting that kind of love. And then yeah, the big thing that, as I've already explained, the reservation system and all that shit, there was a giant line for a behind closed doors 20-minute Cyberpunk hands-free demo.
Yeah.
That we had tried since the beginning of the day to get into. And the way it worked is the line would fill up, and when it got to a certain point, they'd tell you to go away. Like, come back in like 40 minutes, and if there's room in the line, we'll let people get in the line. Which is like impossible to know when that's going to be.
Yeah.
So we'd go off and do something, and every once in a while we'd come back and check and shit. Finally, towards the end of the night, like we had like less than an hour until the show was going to end altogether. I noticed the line was a lot shorter, and I was like, oh fuck, maybe I can get in there. So I get in there, you went and bought some stuff, I told you I'll be here, come back. And I'm waiting there, and as I'm waiting there, this chick comes up, and she like looks at all of us, and she's like, why is this line growing? And we're like, what? Isn't this for Cyberpunk? And she's like, yeah, we only have one showing left. We don't, like this line, like you guys aren't going to be able to get in. And we're all like, this is how powerful the love for Cyberpunk is. That line continued to grow. She kept coming back and bringing more people. They're like, there's no room for you guys. Like literally, like there's no guarantee you will see Cyberpunk tonight. So like, don't waste your time. Like, just come back tomorrow. And we're all just like, okay. And we're standing there still in line. And then she walked off, and then more people came back, and they're like, there's no guarantee you guys will see Cyberpunk. This is the last show at 6:15. It all ends at 7 p.m. E3 closed down at 7 p.m. They're like, at 6:15, that's the last show. We can only have 80 people. There's more than 80 people in this line. Yeah. So, you know, and we just kept waiting in line. Everybody's just like, okay. Some people would leave, but most people didn't. And then eventually you came back, and I kind of was explaining the situation, and then you heard them come back and explain the thing again. They're like, okay, there's like... this line keeps growing, like, we don't have room for everybody. Yeah. And then, but it was funny because they kept kind of being like, we can't guarantee it. We don't know if you'll be able to get in there. Finally, towards the end, they're like, we're going to try and squeeze in as much people as we can into this last showing. Yeah. Because they obviously talked to somebody. They're like, but we still cannot guarantee that you guys will get into this, but we're going to try and put in as much people as we can. This is how crazy it was. And even at one point, you were like, well, should we go do something? I'm like, you know, if we can't get in, we can't get in. But let's just see. Yeah. So we waited around for a little bit, and I was starting to go, fuck, I don't know if we're going to be able to get in there or not. Because there was a lot of people ahead of us, and there was a lot of people behind us. Finally, the line starts moving, and the people are still telling us, like, you know, we don't know if you guys are going to be able to get in, but you guys are welcome to fucking hang out. We get up, and there's me and Cody, a bunch of people behind us, and like 3 dudes ahead of us, and we get stopped finally. Yeah. And we're just like standing there, and I'm like, okay, you know, nice try.
That's it, yeah.
And then the chick comes out and opens the thing. She's like, we have room for 5 people. And I like instantly in my head was like, me, Cody, and those 3 guys. Yeah. I was like, oh shit. Yeah. So fucking we went in, and like the guys behind us are just like, fuck, what the fuck? Yeah. I was like, I don't care. I don't give a shit. So we go into this room that was packed full of people, hot as hell in there. They had like 5 or 6 fans just oscillating. And I had my camera rolling, so I'm like, oh, I'm going to record this. Most of E3 is pretty like open to fucking filming shit. Yeah. But I'm walking by, and this chick's like, no cameras. And I was like, what? She's like, no cameras, sir. I was like, okay. So I put my fucking camera away, so that's why you guys aren't seeing what we saw. And yeah, they fucking shut the lights off. It was fucking humid in that room. Oh, yeah. And we were not in an area that they intended people to be. We're standing like right next to the fucking speakers, blasting our fucking ears out. And what happened is a dude that looked like Tosh.0 started kind of explaining, you know, last year you saw this, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, this year we're going to show you something different. And they had a dude sitting down below with a controller. At first I thought it was just a video we were watching, but it was actually a dude playing it. And, fuck, I don't know where to begin. And I can't explain the whole thing. And I'm sure eventually they're going to release the video for everybody. But some things worth noting is right in the beginning, you start in a skyscraper. You're like up in the air. You can see out these windows over the city and stuff. And it's like kind of like dusk. Yeah. It's getting kind of dark out. It's really cool looking. And the first thing they show too is the guy's making jokes the whole time, but he's like, "Oh man, fucking, we don't even have a shirt on." And like he goes to his inventory, and his guy's got a coat on. He's playing a dude, and he's got no shirt on. He goes into like a customization section and puts a shirt on and stuff. So he's kind of showing us that you're gonna be able to like pick and choose your outfits and wear whatever the fuck you want, which was already like, that's awesome. Yeah. He's walking through this building, and there's all this ambient shit going on. There's people sitting in chairs, there's people walking around, doing all sorts of shit. And it's super detailed. Looks really good. Your main character goes into this meeting with a dude. I don't remember exactly what they're talking about, but you're going to do a job for this guy. You don't trust him. He goes to like touch... in Cyberpunk, you have... you can like jack into stuff with like pretty much like a USB cable. Yep. And he goes to grab it, and you're like, whoa. And like you like back off for a second. And the guy explains, you know, in Cyberpunk... somebody, if they get access to they could do all sorts of shit. They can get a bunch of information from you. They could fuck you over completely. So he's kind of emphasizing that there's a lot of distrust in this world because there's so much ways to hack people and stuff, which is really cool. Another thing I want to note too in this part is you're sitting at a desk, and the other dude's at the other side of the desk. You guys are having this conversation, and it's super detailed. The mocapping is good. It's not like he's just standing there talking to you blank faced, and you're standing there talking to him blank faced. Like they're having a whole conversation, and everything's being acted out, and as you make decisions, they're like doing stuff. and then Keanu Reeves. It's like a hologram of him. It's like you're only seeing it. It's like augmented reality.
Oh yeah.
Behind the guy you're talking to, Keanu Reeves is just standing there. And he's talking to you while you're talking to this dude, almost like a ghost. And the guy that was like showing the presentation was like, "Oh, you guys know that guy, huh?" And everybody's like, "Woo!"
Yeah.
And because that was the big thing of E3, obviously. And so you finally, say you're going to do this job for this guy, and you end up going outside. You go through the building. It's super detailed. I want to emphasize that again. This was the most detail I've seen in this game so far. A lot of the things people are kind of worried about when it comes to this game living up to the hype, I'm not seeing a reason to worry yet.
Yeah.
It's fucking like these guys are working their ass off. Like seriously, the game looks better than when we saw it. The 48-minute video. It's better looking than that. You go outside, he emphasizes it's like dusk now. The sun's going down. He's like, I know everybody wants to see the city at night. We're not going to show you yet. But it was still really cool looking. The atmosphere was awesome. And it's also throughout the demo, real slow degradation of the sun going down. So the day cycles are long, which I really dug. Because at one point he's like in a warehouse type place or a parking garage. And you can kind of see like the reddish orangish light coming through like all the windows and shit. And it looked really cool. He goes up to a motorcycle, and as soon as you approach it, the handlebars like come out like and like fucking it's all like Transformer-esque. Also, this is interesting. There's two people working on a car to the left of the motorcycle, and they're speaking Creole. But the guy presenting it was like, these guys are speaking ancient Creole, which is an old language that you don't understand. But since it's the future, and above their head as they're speaking in this like Cajun Creole language, you're seeing it translated through your augmented reality.
Yeah.
So they're still actually speaking it, but you're seeing what they're saying, which I thought was really fucking neat. You get on the bike, he's riding it first person at first, and he puts it into third person, which I think a lot of people will be happy with, because I know some people were like, I don't like driving in first person in games, so it seems as though they will allow you to do it in third person.
That's cool.
The riding the bike looked good.
Yeah.
Didn't look stiff or whatever. He drives through a part of town that the presenter was saying essentially is like a place where gangs still fight a lot, and it felt like it. There was like cars smoking, and there's like rubble and shit every once in a while on the roads, and it seemed really active. There's a lot of people just kind of hanging out. Kind of reminds me of LA a bit.
Yeah.
Walking around here, there's just people everywhere doing something, and you don't really want to ask them or talk to them about what they're doing. And it was really neat. There was a certain life to that area that the prior presentation didn't have. So this city does feel diverse, and it's interesting, very fucking cool. Yeah. Then eventually you get to where you're going. You have a conversation with the guy about the job, and he's essentially saying, just get it done. Do it how you want to do it. And so they said, in this game you can do it however the fuck you want, but we're going to go the stealth route since you guys didn't really see that before. And a lot of the progression in that, and it's kind of neat, is the character goes into the parking garage, two people are having a conversation, you could shoot them if you want to, but eventually they both just get on their bikes and ride out. So they're not just like standing there patrolling like AIs, like they're like, oh, let's go, and they just fucking drive off. And then you're sneaking around a bit. There's a part where he like looks around a corner and a camera almost spots him, and so as the person walks off, he looks for where the camera's connected to, and he finds the box, but it's behind some like boxes on a shelf, and he actually moves the box the other way to hack it. So even in this one instance where you're hacking one of them, I'm assuming many boxes, there's like an animation that they put into it, which just shows the amount of detail. They also showed off when you're stealthing around, not being seen is the biggest aspect that they're going for, but sometimes you want to manipulate things in a way that will benefit you. It shows at one point this dude is like practice boxing against a robot, and the robot's just blocking or whatever. He hacks the robot, and the robot just decks the dude right in the fucking face, and blood goes everywhere, and the guy's on the ground going, oh, and the other dude who's watching is like, haha, that thing fucking punched you real hard or whatever. He's just like making fun of him because he thinks the robot just malfunctioned, but you did that. And then the one I thought was really interesting is he crawls around the corner and sees a dude bench pressing some fucking weights, and they're explaining that in Cyberpunk everything's connected pretty much to the net, and since they're playing Netrunner, he's just kind of hacking shit. He hacks the weights, and they just fucking come down, and they start crunching the dude's throat, and he just fucking murders him. And the guy doesn't make a whole lot of noise because he's just getting killed. I was like, that's fucking crazy. Another part too, he hacks like like a digital billboard thing, makes noise and starts glitching out. The guys walk up to it. Then he pulls out this fucking, I forgot what they called it, but it's like this like heat fucking cord. And he's holding it like this, like a garrote wire. But they start swinging it like a fucking whip, and it starts cutting them and shit and murders them. And then later it showed he's like doing more moves, and then he grabs both sides and like whips it like that and shit. So some really cool animations going on there. He also showed off that this exact same tool, you can also, because you can hack everything in this game obviously, but you can also use that to connect to someone if you're a net runner, and you can fucking hack somebody from a distance with this cord. So it's multi-purpose. It's a weapon and it's a fucking tool. Really crazy shit.
And the other one that they emphasize, like, it'll be, you can switch the abilities and stuff like that too. So you could have like a, you know, however you want. Basically, you know, they didn't go into too much detail, but you could do strength too. So the other character was a chick, was more like robot arms that could rip open doors and stuff like that.
And the cool thing about that is they show the scenario where this guy's sneaking around hacking shit to get through, and then they made the point of like you can play as how you want, whatever you can think of. Your own Cyberpunk is going to be like this, and you can do that. And then they bring the chick out, and they show the stats too. They showed their stats side by side, and her stats were higher in like strength and you know, shooting abilities and shit like that. And the door thing was interesting because this dude's like hacking shit to open stuff. When she walks up to stuff, she was able to press a button on the doors, and she would grip the center of the door. She would pull, but her because she had like cybernetic arms, they would like extend, and then the arms would like pop open mechanically. Like there was a lot of torque, and it would just rip the fucking doors open. It looked really cool. Yeah. There's so much detail in this game, man. It's awesome. There's a lot of environmental shit too, like I said, like the weights and stuff you can kill people with. At one point he grabs a dude, he's able to either kill him or knock him out, but then he walked over to like a garbage disposal, and there was an option to take him out with that. Yeah. And he took the head, slammed it into the metal, and then he threw him into the garbage disposal. Yeah. So there's these environmental things you can do as well. Just like there's at one point a turret when he's playing the more combat, you know, female character. There's a turret shooting, and she runs up to it, fucking grabs it, pulls it back, rips it out, and then she's using it like a gun and shit, and she's just unloading people. There's another part too that I thought was really fucking cool, where she grabbed a dude, and this dude's just unloading at her, and she's holding him while walking forward. He's just taking the rounds. You see his head just like bucking back, and blood's flying everywhere and shit. Yeah, it was fucking cool. Yeah. Just like there's a lot of times too where she was shooting people, and they're like fucking taking the rounds, and like it just looked really good. We saw a little bit of melee combat, which was kind of cool with her. It was like boxing. She's like hitting him and shit, and they're swinging at her. And then she fucking broke a bottle and grabbed it and started stabbing the fucking dude. And at one point stabbed him in the face. Yeah. And I was like, that's intense, dude. And then grabbed the whip thing and started...
Yeah, that's an intense looking game.
Sure. It's very cool. How did it end? I don't remember exactly.
With the whips, basically. I think they're testing more of the whip stuff out.
Yeah, they're just emphasizing that you can go about things any way you want, which I think is really important, and people playing these types of games want that. So, there's a lot of shit that was in that demo, though. Another thing I thought was cool is when they got on the motorcycle, a song started playing, and as you guys already know, all the music's made for Cyberpunk. These aren't real songs. These are songs for their world, and they do fit.
Like real songs.
And then they switched the song, and it was another song, and it was like it was a completely different genre, but still fit the world. It was really fucking cool. What else? Is there something else I'm missing here? We saw melee combat. We saw her shooting a revolver. We saw the contrast of a net runner versus like a straight samurai. We saw some combat where people were getting blown up and shot up and shit, which seemed really good and satisfying. And a lot of options on how to take people out, or sneak by them and shit. But overall, I was thoroughly impressed, and everybody in that fucking room was thoroughly impressed. Anytime they did anything, people were cheering, clapping, and having a blast with it. I mean, even the guy who played it got applause. So, the hype for this game is real as fuck, to the point where people wouldn't leave the line when the chick was telling us that we aren't going to see the game. So people were still waiting to see this game. I think it's, outside of Final Fantasy VII, easily the most hyped game of E3 when I was there.
Oh yeah.
But it's worth it, and I'm glad we fucking went in there. I'm glad I just decided I'm just gonna see if it's gonna work.
Yeah.
It did, and we got to see it, and it was awesome. And I hope you guys get to see that presentation soon because it was really cool. And oh yeah. And then we got some swag for that as well with the Cyberpunk visor. It says Cyberpunk right there. It's yellow, and it's a fucking visor that I'm putting on my beanie. This is a hot commodity. At E3, I kept hearing people talking about these. They're like, you get your Cyberpunk visor? Did you get your Cyberpunk visor? So we got our Cyberpunk visors.
Nailed it.
Yeah. It's also kind of fucked up, too. We were literally the last two people into that room, packed more than 80 people. We were the first people to leave and get our visors.
Yeah.
So, because we're in the back. It was perfect.
It was pretty sweet.
Yeah. But yeah, Cyberpunk is still looking like it's going to be the game to buy and play, man. Like, it's seeing more of it. I'm just more stoked for it. They showed more in this video than they showed before. The animations look great. The mocap looks great. The voice acting's good. The action's awesome. The ideas are cool. The world's amazing. The vehicles are cool. The environment and atmosphere is fucking awesome. And the ways to go about doing things is a lot of options. There's a lot of options there to figure that out. So, yeah, Cyberpunk is going to be amazing. And yeah, anything else worth mentioning from today?
Just that there was a lot, like Fortnite had like the biggest booth.
Yeah, we didn't check it out really, but it was huge.
It was ginormous. And,
THQ Nordic had a pretty big section even in the building. They had one outside, but also one inside.
Yeah.
So they're really coming out hard with the fucking the games that they're advertising.
Now there's a lot of stuff, but I mean, like we want to check out the Kakarot.
Bang had a booth where people were dancing and shit.
Yeah, it was very strange.
Yeah, and then right across from it, there was like a bunch of there's like a chair manufacturing company that makes like gaming chairs, and there's just a bunch of people just sitting in the chairs watching these chicks dancing for Bang.
It's very strange.
Yeah, it was kind of odd. And then the DJ was like, "There's all this room, guys. Move up, move up." And then I just left. I was like, "Fuck this."
Yeah.
Bandai Namco. They had a giant booth for the Dragon Ball Z game, the Kakarot game, that RPG. We're gonna try and get into that. There's like a big capsule corp fucking thing you go up some stairs into, so I wanna know what the fuck's in there. We have the whole other hall to check out Sega and Nintendo and other things. Facebook Gaming was there, which is kind of weird. Who's doing Code Vein? And Harvest Moon, and there's a bunch of like anime type games in an area where we saw Cloud cuddling something in a Harvest Moon set for some reason.
Yeah.
This guy was like, "Hey, can you get down with it?" And the Cloud's like, "What?" And he's like, "Can you just get down with the little fucking thing?" And he's like, "Oh, like this." And he gets down, like grabs it, and they looked at me while I'm filming him. And I was like, "Ugh." I was like, "Whatever you guys are into, man. This is weird, though."
Hey, yeah.
Why's Cloud here? Unless he knew that guy. Maybe that guy came dressed like that.
Maybe.
There's a couple people. We saw Mario. He looked miserable.
Yeah, so hot,
Looked
man.
miserable in that fucking outfit. There's a lot of Jedis.
Really?
Yeah, I saw like 8.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. And, yeah. It was a blast, though. It started out a little rough because we didn't know, how things worked. But after a while, it made sense. We knocked out, most of the big titles that we wanted to, and we still got a couple to do tomorrow. Specifically, Final Fantasy VII. I need to fucking play that. Check that out. And yeah. Unless there's anything else you want to say about today's adventures in E3.
No?
Nope.
Yeah, that's pretty much nailed it.
It's very hot.
Very hot.
Not as hot as outside, but it was a fucking sweaty nightmare.
So hot.
Yeah, I sweat my ass off. Yeah, very hot. Let us know in the comments, though. What do you guys think about all the announcements at E3? What do you think about the stuff we've told you about? Does what I have told you about Cyberpunk make you more stoked? And I'm sure it does. And no, it sounds fucking awful. I hate that. Yeah, let me know everything you're thinking about when it comes to E3. What's your favorite thing at E3, and what should we be looking for on the floor? And yeah, until tomorrow, where we'll be doing another vlog on our adventures. Have a good one, guys, and enjoy fucking E3 week, man. It's been a blast, and it's gonna be fun still. And yeah, take it easy, guys.